Alright guys, so if you're trying to, lose some weight and you are confused about how to use carbohydrates, I'm going to basically give you the best ammunition of how to use them. So first of all, what are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are the non-essential macronutrient. We've got 3 macronutrients: proteins, carbs, fats. The 2 essential ones that you will starve, or you will starve eventually if you don't have any of, is proteins and fats. But carbs are non-essential, meaning you can live without them. It's not the best, but you could, and you would be fine actually. So generally, given that our body requires proteins and fats for survival, if we as a proportion, say we have 2,000 calories, just to throw an example out there, and like 70% of those calories came from carbs, we would actually find that we're not getting enough proteins and fats into our diet. So what will happen is, to stay within that 2,000 calories, it's going to be very, very hard, because our cravings are going to be crazy high, because our body's going to seek out more food in the form of proteins and fats. And we may not even identify what the hell's going on. We're like, well, we've eaten quite a lot. Why is this happening? Not really sure what's going on. So yeah, that's the problem. So when we're trying to basically consume more food because maybe we want to gain weight, we will have a greater proportion of our calories coming from carbs, because that's going to drive our appetite to go higher. So what you want to do is probably reduce the amount of carbohydrates that you're eating in your diet if you're trying to lose fat, because if you, let's just say we have the same 2,000 calories, but 80% of them come from proteins and fats, we're going to be so full, and the other 20% come from carbohydrates. It's going to be very, very, very hard for us to overeat, because the cravings will be much lower, because we're satiated. Our body has got everything it needs to survive from the proteins and the fats. So the best time to manipulate carbs, if you're basically reducing the number of carbs that you're eating as a tool to control your calories, carbs give you a lot of energy. So the best time to have them is before you're doing some taxing activity like a workout, or maybe after you work out, because when you've trained in the gym with weights, your muscle glycogen is depleted. So what happens is, once we eat some carbs, that gets replenished again. It makes us feel kind of good. So I don't personally advocate for getting rid of them altogether, because they give you that energetic feeling, which is really useful obviously. Sometimes it's just a form of mental energy as well, which is really, really good from carbs. But you have to understand this dynamic. So if you're basing most of your diet, most of your calories from carbs, there's a chance that you may be under eating on protein and fat, which is just causing you to seek out more food and overeat more calories in general. So you can manipulate a low carb diet if you're trying to reduce your calorie intake to good effect. Hope that makes sense, guys. If you want some more hints and tips, keep following this page.